What's up, guys? My name is Eric. This is Teach Go High Level, and this is part 3 of the settings section. We're coming into the home stretch. These are your other settings. They don't fit in the other two, but we need to access them. So some of these are not going to apply to you at all. That's totally fine. I'll cover basically what they do in case it does fit. The first one is objects. So now this is new. You can see we have a new little icon here. That is going to be very specific use case. I'll give you one example where this might apply. Let's say you are an equipment rental company or you sell used cars. You can set up objects and tie contacts to them in the context of your business. So for example, if I wanted to add a custom object, example given here is a car or cars, and then you could put in the VIN number of a specific type of car, right? Let's say you have a 2003 Accord that you're selling. You could put in the VIN number and you could have a different icon for it and give a description of it. Then you could connect a contact or a company to that object as if they were like interested in it. Or if you rent equipment, let's say you rent tools or heavy equipment or something like that, you could use custom objects to track those objects in relationship to your sales and customer management process. So that's kind of a use case for custom objects. There's a lot of really cool things being created with custom objects and very unique. But for the average person that just needs to communicate better with their customers, do better marketing, this isn't going to totally apply to them, but it is a very cool feature. Next is custom fields and custom values. I'm going to talk about these two together because they're somewhat related and somewhat not related. So what is the difference between a custom field and a custom value? A custom field can be used in forms. It can be collected through drop-down menus. You can embed it in different things, surveys, quizzes, things like that. And when it's filled out, it will be logged in the customer's information, all right, in their contact record. A custom value is a standard value that you want to use in marketing through a merge tag that doesn't change. So an example would be location name, or let's say that you wanted to have the owner's name available for certain emails, right? Instead of having to write John Smith every time in an email, you could use that custom value. This is also great that like if you have your own agency, you can create sequences with lots of different emails and make it from a certain value, like a customer's name or a certain link that you don't want to change, like a review link. And you can use those over and over and over again, but you only have to have your client fill out the value once and it'll pre-fill that data. So custom fields, you can set them up in here and you can make custom fields for anything. You can put them in folders. Now what's cool is, first of all, if you create a folder, it's gonna show up like this. So folders will then show up as a menu that's openable, right? So we already have general info and we have additional info, and you can add custom fields into this. So you can see for our review that we have set up, we have them rate how many stars were our service and how can we improve. Those are custom fields that I created, all right? And we're gonna have a whole nother video on setting up custom fields because there's so many different types. Just you need to know that if you set up a custom field folder, it's gonna create one of these, and then your fields that you put within that folder will show up here. Now, custom values don't show up unless you use the merge tag. Remember, the merge tag is always available in the drop-down, in the email builder, in automations, but this is where you create them. So you can create them for whatever you want, your address, your Google Maps pin link, or whatever you want to put in here. It can be all sorts of different things. It could be a PDF deliverable from your Google Drive as part of a fulfillment. That could be in there as well. And that way you can update certain things without having to update all the different emails if you use a custom value. With custom values, here you can copy the merge tag if you need it somewhere else, all right? Remember though, in general, custom fields, merge tags, custom values only work within GoHighLevel software. If you took this custom value and put it in a Gmail email, it's not gonna work for you. So it only works within the system because it can pull from the database and find that information. Next, we have manage scoring. Scoring is a way to be able to score numerically how well a contact interacts with your business. Now, you don't have to have this on if you don't want to. First step you do is either leave it in draft or publish. Now, the more someone communicates, you get to set the rules on how much they go up. So, for example, on this contact record, when it's on and they start to accrue points, you will see a little yellow box that will show you their engagement, okay? Now, that is solely dependent on the rules that you set. So, for example, if an email is opened by a client, add 1 point. If you send multiple emails and they're all opened, it's going to continue to add points. If they confirm an appointment, add a point. If they reply, add a point. And you can use this for SMS and email. So you just go through here. If an action is, it gives you lots of different options. So you could make this for sales rating, communication rating, just in general, any sort of thing that you want. Let's say they make a payment, right? And the sub action is payment status is succeeded. We're going to add 20 points because that's a buyer. So if you had a sales process and you wanted to see, I wonder if we use all of these rules to just qualify buyers, then you could totally set it up like that. So when a rep looks at their number and it's like, oh, their number's 100, they've bought like 5 things from us in the past. That would be really good information. The scoring, it used to just be about email and text message. Now you can make it for a lot of different things for whatever you want to score your contacts on. If you don't want to use it though, you just turn it to draft, hit save, you're good to go. Domains, we have gone over this before when we were going through our setup. Within here, this is where you manage your domains. Again, very straightforward. You add a domain, there's nothing else to do. URL redirects. All right, so URL redirects is sometimes something you're going to use in a marketing purpose. So for example, if I had a special PDF for my company that's like top 10 ways to keep your windows clean in between services, and I wanted them to have that resource, I could make a URL for it that would be like abcwindowcleaning.com/free PDF. That URL, when I create it, could forward to the Google Drive share link and take them right there. So the first thing you do is you would select your domain, then / whatever you want. So free PDF. What kind of redirect is it? Is it a URL? Then we just put the URL in, like a Google Drive link or something like that. If we want to redirect them to one of our funnels or websites that we've created in GoHighLevel, we would then be able to select which funnel we want them to go to. URL redirects are a really great way for you to have short URLs for marketing purposes that you want to send someone somewhere. So you'll know if it works for you or not, but this is where you set those up. Next is integrations. Now, integrations, private integrations, the marketplace, all of this is really growing at a fast rate. To break it down in the most simplest way for you. Integrations, first of all, are integrations that GoHighLevel has created that you really need to connect to do certain things within your business. So this is Google, Google My Business, Stripe, Facebook, QuickBooks, Wave Accounting, TikTok, Shopify. If you're running a Shopify store and you're not using GoHighLevel, you're missing out big time. 2 of the new biggest ones are Printful and Shippo. These are native integrations between GoHighLevel and that company and have the highest level of functionality. Some of these are use case scenario, right? If I don't make t-shirts on Printful, I don't need to connect that. But if you're going to, have a Google My Business on there, this definitely going to be important. Facebook, field form, TikTok, LinkedIn. What this is if you have form collection for advertising in those platforms, this will allow you to map those to GoHighLevel. So if somebody fills out a form on TikTok, let's say, or LinkedIn, that information will automatically come into GoHighLevel as a new contact and a lead if you set up an automation for it. And it will map the fields, so name to name, email to email. It'll map those for you so it comes in properly. So integrations right here is GoHighLevel native integrations. Private integrations, this is kind of the Wild West. This is going to be for people that are hiring a developer to create a custom integration for them. It involves API, and you will know if this is something you absolutely need to do because there might be a solution out there. You might be able to handle it with Zapier, which we're going to cover in a separate video. Zapier and Make are really powerful tools for connecting GoHighLevel to a broad range of softwares. But if, let's say you had your own software that you had developed and you want to integrate it with GoHighLevel, this is where you're going to start to set that up. It's very advanced, and you're going to need an API developer for that. All right, next is tags. Now, we've covered tags before. This is kind of like your grand database of every tag that you've ever created. You can create tags in here, totally fine. You also can create them in automations and all sorts of different places on the fly. But this is where you actually manage all of your tags, okay? So it'll tell you the date that you created it, all right? And also if you updated a tag, it will give you the updated date. Now, let's say you've been using a tag and it's not quite right, or you wanna change what it says, you're gonna do that here. So for example, if I had a tag that didn't quite fit, like sold, let's say I only used to sell one product, but now I sell two. So I wanna know which product I sold them. You can come into this tag and you can edit and go sold product 1. That will update that tag, and anybody that has that tag already in the database, it's now going to update all of them to this new tag name, all right? So this allows you to not have to untag everybody and re-tag them with the new thing, which could potentially set off an automation. You can just change what it says right here, okay? The last couple you may not see depending on your agency settings if you bought your account through a GoHighLevel agency, but I'm gonna go over them anyway. So the first is labs. This is an experimental place where GoHighLevel gives you the option to try something in beta that is not rolled out to the greater community yet as a standard feature. Some people can see this, some can't, but you just go in, you read up on it, and then you can say, yeah, I wanna opt in to be able to do that, and you can submit feedback on it, right? This is always changing, all right? And some you turn on, some you turn off. Make sure you read through all the documentation if you think it'll be a fit for you. But for you super techie people that are always trying to do the next thing, this is a fun place to hang out. Audit logs. This is the I gotcha section, as I like to call it. If you work with a multiple person team and someone accidentally like deletes something or changes a contact record, this would be a really great place for your administrator of your database, primarily you might actually have someone that does it for you. This is where they're gonna be able to see what was done where. Did they create, update, delete, restore, merge a contact? You can select what different users have been doing with the contacts in there. You can see what they've been doing in which section, calendar events, contacts, API key, and a date range. So I call this the who done it, right? This will tell you who done it. It's a little bit technical in the details that it gives you, right? But this is a great way. It's like, who changed this contact? We're missing a piece of information. You can at least attempt to research what happened, okay? Next is brand boards. This is a brand new feature. Again, you see the little new icon there. It's gonna take you straight over to the marketing section and brand boards. It used to be in the settings section, and it's slowly transitioning over to being in the marketing section. We're gonna cover brand boards in our marketing section series. We're gonna go over how to create them, where they're accessible, and why you want those. All right, going back to settings, we have one left. After brand boards, we have companies. If you are a business that maybe has 2 or 3 contacts that are under one business, like if you're B2B, what you can do is you can create and associate companies with different contacts. It's one option in the settings, but if you know that you deal with multiple contacts in one company, possibly for sales or customer service or whatever it is, this is where you're gonna turn that on. Now remember, my video is not just the only place where you can get this sort of information. Throughout the settings section, if you ever see a little eye icon for information, take a second and read it. It's super helpful. If you ever see a learn more, feel free to hit that. That's gonna take you to how to use this, how to use the company object automation. These resource articles are really helpful. I know my videos are helpful because I get to walk through and talk about it with you, but don't forget that GoHighLevel is always seeding in information for you as well if you're not quite sure. So that's the settings series. It was 3 videos. It was a lot, but now hopefully after the 3 of these, you kind of know what each one of these things mean. So if you have a problem, you know where to go, or if you want to try a new feature, you can turn it on and you could administrate your whole database. That's settings in a nutshell. Here's the other thing I'll tell you. If you're using GoHighLevel regularly, you're gonna see things pop in there with a little new icon. That means that this is new to you and your account. It could be super game changer for you. Sometimes something will come out and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been wanting this for a while. Click into it, click around. Our goal here is as new features come out that we have videos for you to watch. Once we've understood how to use it, some use case scenarios and best practices, we're gonna be publishing about that for you. But settings is done, hard stuff is out of the way. It's time to get back to some more fun stuff like marketing and making money. Again, my name is Eric, this is Teach GoHighLevel, and we'll see you in the next video.